Memories of Nobody is one of my favorite Bleach movies. Of course, my favorite being Fade to Black. Both of these movies feature great storytelling, but of course, Fade to Black really offers a great combination of nice action and also nice storytelling as well. But if you're looking for something that is very heavy in action, Memories of Nobody may not be to your liking because this is mostly story-driven. It has a bit of action, but of course, it's not the best. Memories of Nobody introduces us to a new character called Senna. Ichigo and Rukia meet her in the middle of the city. She's a bit of a mysterious character. She doesn't remember how she got to the real world, and furthermore, there are no records of her in the Soul Society, even though she is a Shinigami. Senna is a very energetic and likable character, which makes for a sad movie ending just because we know that she's not going to be around in the Bleach series, and we're already getting attached to her through this movie. She's such a great character, but we know, of course, she's not going to be around. Now, throughout the span of this movie, we'll see Senna and Ichigo spend a lot of time together. They'll become great friends, and one great thing about this movie is that it features many of the Bleach characters. It shows Ichigo's dad perving out on her. It shows Ichigo's sisters. It shows everybody from the Soul Society. It shows Urahara. To me, aside from a great story, Bleach movies should show a lot of the characters that we haven't seen in a while in Bleach just to make it feel like it's actually part of the real universe, as if you were just watching a few episodes of Bleach. So this movie did a really good job of involving all of the Bleach characters, and it also included new characters as well, such as Senna, and also we see these new spirit beings, and they're basically called blanks. They're basically blank spirits with no memory or anything like that, and they actually explain the things very well. The blanks are actually an intermediary process between the soul basically getting recycled, and it really fits in within the lore of Bleach. There are actually a group of rebels that are trying to use Senna to destroy the Soul Society, and they were basically expelled from the Soul Society many years ago. I know that they're not Shinigami because they don't have Zanpakuto, and they're actually very different from anyone that you would expect to see in Bleach. They don't have any ties with the Hollow. They aren't exactly Shinigami either, and some of them do have special abilities. Like there was one guy who would get his arm cut off and he would just reform it, and that would actually look a lot like how a Hollow would do it. You would see these white particles come out, which are basically the spirit particles, and he would reform his body, but he also had the ability to replicate his body many times when he was cut into pieces. So basically you have these rebels that were banned from the Soul Society because they were trying to take it over, and now they're trying to destroy it because they're trying to create this extra realm in between the Soul Society, in between the living world, and basically he's trying to expand that realm and cross over into both sections, causing the worlds to collide. So at one point in this movie, a hole actually opens up in the sky of the Soul Society, and one also opens up in a river in Japan, and that's basically that realm that they're creating passing over into the other realms. The mysterious antagonists capture Senna, take her over to this other realm, and they start to use her to expand the realm and to also possibly destroy the Soul Society and also the Earth world. And what happens next is kind of typical in my opinion. Ichigo jumps into the portal to try to save her. He doesn't really know what's going to happen next. Over at the Soul Society, they're plotting to just actually destroy everything and cut their losses just because that's what they usually do. So Rukia convinces Yamamoto to not destroy the area right away and to actually let them go in and help Ichigo, and they might be able to stop it from the inside instead of destroying it and actually hurting a lot of Shinigami and also people from the living world as well. So the captains go into this other realm and they fight there, and I feel that the fights were actually a bit lackluster just because they were over so fast. It's great that we get to see Renji, Byakuya, and Zaraki fight, but they're all over way too quick. I was so excited to see Zaraki fight, of course, because he's my favorite Bleach character, but of course, his fight doesn't take long at all. I'm actually very disappointed with the Zaraki fight because there are so many better Zaraki fights than a lot of the other Bleach movies. So, of course, you know, everything's going to end up okay. They're going to save the day. I'm not going to tell you exactly what happens with the ending or anything because I don't really want to spoil it, but I really liked how they ended this movie. It's pretty sad considering that it really revolves around a character that we've just been introduced with, and she actually has no impact on the story. So having considered that, it was a pretty deep ending. Overall, Bleach Memories of Nobody is a very story-driven movie to a fault, because I feel that there were times in this movie where they were explaining how everything works as far as this other realm is concerned and different things like that. I really feel that they spent too much time on that, and they could have spent more time on the story of Senna just because she's such a great character and they could have done more with her in this movie. Even if they weren't going to spend that extra time in the development of Senna, they spent so much time on convoluted explanations of things that didn't really matter in the movie, and they could have used that time to spend for the battles, because the battles here were very lackluster. Even though the antagonists here were so original as far as Bleach goes, their weapons here were a lot different. Also, we've got one character who's got a sword, the handle pulls out of the sword, and there's actually a dart gun on the inside. There's one character with a crossbow, one guy's got fist blades, another character has rocket launchers mounted on his shoulder, and it's really interesting to see these characters, but all the fights are over with so fast. And there's actually the main fight here of the main antagonist, Ganryu, versus Ichigo. That fight lasted a bit longer. While the fights were very short, they did contain great action. I just wish they were longer. Now, Bleach as an anime series contains so much filler that I really wish that this story would have become one of those filler. You know, take out one of the, the princess filler. I didn't really care for that at all within Bleach, and they could have added that into there. I would have loved to see this story just branch out for 15 or so episodes, however long that filler was. I would have loved to see this take that place. So if that were the case, you could have seen a bit of the backstory about Ganryu and his other antagonists and why they did what they did. You could have seen more interaction with Senna and the other characters in the story. You could have seen more explanations and things like that, and more of a mystery of just basically what's going on here. And you have a lot of different things here which are basically just crammed down into this movie. It's not a bad movie, but I really feel like it would benefit if it could have been a lot longer. Now, the overall presentation of this movie, it looks beautiful. It's not the best that Bleach has ever looked, just because it's a bit of an older movie, and the sound here is also great. It's everything that you would expect from Bleach. It's got those trademark songs that you would expect out of Bleach. So this DVD set here actually includes a second disc, which gives you bonus features. That basically includes, you get the trailers and everything for this movie, and also you get some behind-the-scenes footage with some interviews of the dub cast and also some interviews of the Japanese cast as well. So if you're interested in buying Memories of Nobody, I picked this up on a great deal from RightStuff.com. This DVD set was $10. I really would have preferred to have the Blu-ray just because it would have looked better, but $10 for the DVD set with the double DVD, with the booklet and everything, that's a great deal. And if you're interested in seeing everything that's inside of this DVD set, I do have an unboxing video on my unboxing channel, so you can go ahead and check that out if you like. So if you've seen Memories of Nobody, then let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think about the convoluted explanations? What do you think about the short fights? And also, what do you think about the great character of Senna? Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you later.